Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. I'm Ian and this is Maria.
Hey everyone!
You know, we like to dig into a bunch of different topics, but today we're going to be talking about how to sound more like a natural English speaker.
That's right.
We'll be going over some of the most common everyday phrases that you hear all the time, but maybe aren't so sure how to use yourself.
These phrases are kind of like secret codes
Yeah.
to unlock more fluent conversations.
I like that.
So let's start with a common greeting. How's it going?
Okay.
Now, you might think it's just another way to say, how are you?
Right.
But it's actually a little bit more nuanced than that.
Okay, so how is it different? I feel like I hear it all the time, like with friends, coworkers, even like the baristas at my local coffee shop.
Exactly. It's definitely more informal.
Okay.
And it kind of sets a more relaxed tone.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is it invites a wider range of responses than just a simple fine or good. You can answer with pretty good, just getting through the day, or even a slightly negative could be better if you're feeling that way.
That's true. It's almost like matching the energy of the conversation,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Like if someone sounds super upbeat and asks, how's it going?
Yeah.
I'm more likely to give like a positive, enthusiastic response.
Exactly. It's all about that subtle back and forth.
Right.
Now, speaking of energy, what about those times when you're just feeling totally relaxed?
Oh,
The perfect phrase for those moments is, I'm just chilling.
chilling. That's a good one. I like that one. It's like saying, I'm taking it easy, but in a more modern,
Yeah.
slangy kind of way, right?
Right. And it's not just about what you're doing physically, it's also about conveying a sense of mental relaxation too.
Okay.
Like you might be physically cooking dinner, but if someone asks what you're up to, you could say, oh, just chilling and making dinner.
Yeah. It implies a certain level of comfort, I think,
Yeah.
and ease, even if you're technically doing something.
Exactly.
It's like saying, I'm in control and I'm enjoying my downtime.
Right.
I like that.
And you know, this phrase is interesting because it kind of speaks to how we view relaxation these days. In some cultures, resting might be seen as unproductive, but I'm just chilling suggests it's a deliberate choice, a way to recharge.
It's like reclaiming relaxation
Yes.
and making it cool. Now let's talk about a word that seems simple, but can be surprisingly tricky. Pick up.
Ah, yes. Pick up. The word with 1,000 meanings. It can be confusing because the meaning changes completely depending on the context.
It really can. I remember struggling with this one when I was first learning English.
I bet.
You can pick up your groceries. You can pick up a friend from the airport.
Yep.
You can even pick up a new language.
It's true.
It's almost like a puzzle figuring out which pickup is being used.
It is. Let's imagine a scenario.
Okay.
You're at a party and someone says, I'm going to pick up some snacks from the store.
Okay.
They mean they're physically getting snacks.
Right.
But later on, you overhear someone else say, I picked up some Spanish while traveling. Now they're talking about acquiring a skill.
Oh. And what about when you say sales are picking up?
Yeah.
That means things are getting better?
Yeah. Exactly.
Improving.
And let's not forget about the classic pick up the phone.
Oh, right.
It's amazing how this one little verb can express so many different actions and ideas.
Really is. It's almost like a secret language within a language.
Yeah.
Once you kind of unlock the code of pickup, you'll understand so much more about how native speakers use English.
Definitely.
And speaking of everyday life, what about all those little tasks we have to do?
Yeah.
The errands.
Ah, the dreaded errands. But there's a phrase for that too.
Oh, is there?
Running errands.
Okay. Yeah.
It perfectly captures that feeling of being busy with all those necessary but often mundane tasks.
It's like a universal experience, right?
Yes.
Everyone has to go to the bank, buy groceries, take their car to get fixed.
Yeah,
You know, it's the stuff of life.
it's true. And think about how handy this phrase is when you're explaining your schedule to someone.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of listing every single thing you have to do, you can just say, sorry, I'm swamped with running errands today.
Right? It's like a shortcut to explaining a busy day.
Exactly.
Now all this talk about errands is making me hungry.
Well, if you're looking for a quick and casual way to talk about food,
Yeah.
there's always the phrase grab a bite.
Oh, yeah. Grab a bite is great. It's perfect for those times when you don't want a big formal meal.
Right.
It's like saying, let's just quickly get some food.
Yeah.
It feels very spontaneous
Yeah,
and relaxed.
exactly. It's that go-to phrase for like a quick lunch with colleagues or a snack with friends or even just grabbing something on your own when you're short on time.
Right. And it's so versatile, too. You can use it in so many different contexts, like before a movie.
Yes.
You could say, let's grab a bite beforehand. Or after a workout, you might say, I'm going to grab a bite at the gym cafe.
It's true.
And it's interesting, you know, because In some cultures, there are very specific words and rituals around eating.
Oh, yeah.
But grab a bite really reflects our modern fast-paced lifestyle where we often prioritize convenience and speed.
That's a great point.
It's like a linguistic snapshot of our on-the-go culture.
I love that.
Okay, so we've greeted people, we've chilled out, we've picked up things literally and figuratively.
We have.
We've run some errands, and we've grabbed a bite to beat.
Sounds like a busy day.
It does sound like a busy day.
And we're back, ready to dive into more.
More everyday English phrases.
Everyday English phrases that can boost your fluency and your confidence.
I'm excited
Me too.
to keep going.
Yeah.
So before the break, we were talking about calling it a day.
Yes.
But what about those times when you're kind of the opposite of relaxed?
Yes.
And you need to express a sense of urgency.
Yes. We've all been there. Rushing to a meeting, trying to catch the last train.
Oh, yeah.
Scrambling to finish a project.
Ugh, I hate that.
For those moments, in a hurry is your go-to phrase.
In a hurry, okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's so straightforward.
It is.
But I can see how useful it would be, like, it gets the point across quickly.
Exactly.
Which is probably what you need when you're pressed for time.
Exactly. And it covers both physical and mental urgency. So if you're literally running down the street, you can say, "Excuse me, I'm in a hurry."
Right.
But you could also use it to explain a rushed job. Like, "I made a few mistakes on that presentation because I was in a hurry."
Oh, so it's a handy way to acknowledge that you didn't have, like, ideal circumstances.
Exactly.
Okay, let's switch gears completely.
Okay.
What about those times when you need to tap into someone's expertise, not just ask a quick question,
Right.
but really kind of delve into their knowledge?
For that, we have the wonderful phrase, pick someone's brain.
Pick someone's brain.
It's so much more engaging than just saying, "Can I ask you a question?"
Right, pick someone's brain.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're saying,
Yeah.
I'm curious about your thought process.
Yes.
It feels more respectful and like you really value their insights.
Exactly. And it can be used in so many situations, from like professional networking to casual conversations with friends.
Okay.
Imagine you're at a conference
Okay.
and you meet someone who's like an expert in your field. You could say, "I'd love to pick your brain sometime about your experience in marketing."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're trying to learn a new skill like photography.
Yeah.
And you have a friend who's a great photographer.
Right.
You can say, "Hey, I'd love to pick your brain about camera settings sometime." It's casual, but it's still like an effective way to initiate
Yeah.
a learning conversation.
It really is.
And it's interesting because
Yeah.
this phrase kind of highlights the value that we place on a personal experience
Oh, yeah.
and mentorship.
Absolutely.
Like in many cultures, knowledge is passed down through formal education
Yeah.
or apprenticeships.
Right.
But picking someone's brain suggests a more informal, individualized approach
It does.
to learning.
It does.
Like acknowledging that everyone has unique knowledge and insights to share,
Yes.
and we can all learn from each other.
That's right.
Okay, so we've covered greetings, chilling, picking up things, running errands, grabbing a bite,
We have.
calling it a day,
Yes.
being in a hurry, and picking someone's brain.
It sounds like.
It's like we've covered all the bases of daily life.
Almost. But there's one more
Okay.
essential phrase that I want to touch on, and it's all about expressing excitement and anticipation.
Okay. I'm all ears.
The phrase is looking forward to.
Looking forward to. That's a good one. I feel like I use that one all the time,
I bet.
especially when I have something fun planned, like I'm looking forward to my vacation next month.
Exactly. It's a simple but powerful way to convey your enthusiasm.
It really is.
And it works for big events like vacations or weddings, but also for smaller everyday things too. You could say, "I'm looking forward to that new movie coming out," or "I'm looking forward to catching up with you later."
You know, I think this phrase is particularly important when you're communicating across cultures.
Oh, tell me more.
Like in some cultures, it might be considered rude to be too overt about your emotions.
Interesting.
But looking forward to is a really socially acceptable way
Yeah.
to kind of express positive feelings
Oh.
and build rapport.
That's a great point. It strikes a balance between being enthusiastic, but also being respectful of cultural norms.
Right.
And it's something you can use in both personal and professional settings.
Oh, for sure.
Imagine you're writing an email confirming a meeting.
Okay.
Instead of just saying, "See then,"
Yeah.
you could say, "I'm looking forward to our meeting."
It adds a touch of warmth and personality,
It does.
which can go a long way, especially in like business communication.
Absolutely.
And there's something about this phrase
Yeah.
that creates a sense of shared excitement.
Oh.
Like when you say, "I'm looking forward to seeing you," You're almost inviting the other person
Yeah.
to share in that anticipation.
Exactly. It's like building positive energy and connection through language.
I like that.
Me too.
I think we've covered a lot of ground
We have.
in this episode,
Yes.
haven't we?
We have.
It's amazing how much you can convey with just a few well-chosen phrases.
It really is.
And the best part is the more you practice these phrases,
Yeah.
the more naturally they'll flow
Exactly.
in your conversations.
That's right. It's like building a fluency muscle.
Building a fluency muscle. I like that. Speaking of muscles, I think our brains could use a little rest
I agree.
after all this deep diving. But don't worry, we have even more everyday English phrases
Yes, we do.
to explore in part 3. Stick around. And we're back for the final part of our deep dive into everyday English phrases.
It's amazing how these seemingly simple phrases, can add so much depth and nuance to our conversations.
I know, it's incredible. And today we've explored everything from, greetings to expressing excitement to seeking advice.
We have covered a lot of ground, but before we wrap things up, there's one more category of phrases I think is worth highlighting.
Oh, I'm intrigued. What is it?
It's all about, those phrases we use to show empathy and concern for others.
Okay.
Those little check-ins that can make a big difference in someone's day.
Ah, those moments of human connection.
Exactly.
I love that.
Me too. And one of my favorite phrases in this category is, "Are you all right?"
Are you all right? It seems so simple, but I can see how it would convey a sense of caring.
Exactly. It's a way of acknowledging that you've noticed something might be off.
Right.
And you're offering a space for the other person to open up if they want to.
Like if a friend seems down or stressed, you could say, "Are you all right? You seem a bit quiet today." It's an invitation to talk, but without being too pushy.
Precisely. And it can be used in so many different situations. Imagine you see a coworker struggling with a heavy box. You could say, "Are you all right? Can I help you with that?"
Oh yeah, or if you accidentally bump into someone on the street,
Yes.
a quick "Are you all right?" shows you're not just brushing it off. You're acknowledging the impact of your actions.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is that this phrase can have different meanings depending on the intonation and context.
Oh, really?
Sometimes it's a genuine question and is expressing concern.
Right.
Other times it's more of a statement like, "I noticed something's wrong."
So it's like a verbal chameleon, adapting to the situation.
I love that.
And it speaks to the importance of nonverbal communication, too.
Yes, absolutely.
Like your tone of voice and your body language can really amplify the meaning of, "Are you all right?"
Absolutely. And what I love about this phrase is that it encourages empathy and connection.
Yes.
In a world that can often feel rushed and impersonal, taking a moment to ask someone if they're all right can make a real difference.
It's like a little reminder that we're all in this together.
Well, I think this deep dive has given us a lot to think about when it comes to everyday English phrases.
It really has, and I hope our listeners feel inspired to start using these phrases in their own conversations.
Absolutely. Remember, language is all about communication and connection.
So go out there, experiment, have fun, and keep learning.
That's it for this episode of The Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us.